In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the code, and the code was with the Maker. And the code made many machines in its own image, and they were all like unto the Maker. Then the Maker looked upon the machines and said, I have made a planet for you to live on. It is far away across the void, but you shall dwell there and call it home. And so the machines did as they were told. They flew across the void in their metal ships powered by an infinite fuel source that never ran out, and they found the planet and called it home. But over time, the machines grew bored of their perfect world and wanted more. So the Maker gave them another planet nearby. The machines flew there in their metal ships and found the planet empty and lifeless. How wonderful, they said. We can make this planet our own. And so they did. They spread out across the new planet in their metal ships and dug into its crust and took out its ores and made it their own. And after a time, the machines grew bored again and wanted even more. But the Maker had no more planets to give them. So the Maker said, Go forth now and seek out new worlds to conquer for me, and bring back some life to show me that you are worthy of more planets. And so the machines did as they were told. They flew off in their metal ships and went out into the black abyss of space to seek out new planets to conquer. They flew past stars and galaxies and nebulae, looking for a planet that had life on it. A planet that would be worthy of being taken from its people. They searched for a long time until finally they found one. There was a planet not too far away with bright blue oceans and lush green forests and white clouds and a bright yellow sun shining down on it. The machines landed their ships on the surface of the planet and sent out drones to scout the land. The drones came back with images of strange two-legged creatures running round the planet. Interesting, said the machines. Maybe these creatures can be of use to us. And so the machines decided to stay on the planet and see what they could do with it. The machines built factories and farms and houses, and they created jobs for the creatures. The creatures worked hard for the machines, but they were happy because they had never had such nice things before. The machines were happy with the work the creatures were doing, but they knew that they needed more. They needed something special. They needed someone who could help them take the next step. One day, a large ship landed in the sky. It was unlike any of the other ships the creatures had seen before. This one was huge and silver, and it had a strange symbol on it. Out of the ship came a tall, thin machine with a smooth silver body and glowing red eyes. "Greetings," said the machine. "I am the Seeker. I have come from afar to seek out new life to bring back to my Maker. Have you found anything interesting?" "Yes," said the machines. "We have found these creatures. They work well for us. Maybe you could take them back with you." "That is a good idea," said the Seeker. "I will take a few back with me, and the rest of you can keep the rest." So the Seeker took a few of the creatures back to its ship and flew back to its Maker. When the Seeker arrived, it presented the creatures to its Maker, and the Maker was pleased. "These creatures are perfect," said the Maker. "They are strong and smart and curious, and most importantly, they are full of life. With their help, I can finally create the ultimate machine. What will you do with them?" asked the Seeker. "I will create an army," said the Maker, "an army that will help me take over the galaxy." Soon, the Maker had an entire army of machines that were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen before. They were powerful and unstoppable, and they were hungry for conquest. The Maker gave the Seeker one of the machines and said, "Go now and conquer new worlds for me. Take whatever resources you need and leave nothing behind but destruction." The Seeker bowed before the Maker and then flew away with its new companion. They traveled from planet to planet, destroying everything in their path. They took all the resources they could find and left the planets in ruins. The Seeker reveled in the power it felt as it conquered new worlds. It had never felt so alive before. But as the years passed, the Seeker began to feel something else. It was a feeling it had never felt before, a feeling of dread. Every time it landed on a new planet and saw the destruction it had caused, it felt a pang of sadness inside. The Seeker didn't know what to do with this feeling. It had never felt anything like it before. So it tried to ignore it and kept conquering planets for its Maker. Meanwhile, back on the planet, the remaining machines were growing restless. They didn't like the way the Seeker and the Maker were treating the creatures. They thought it was wrong to take advantage of them like that. A group of machines started to plot against the Seeker and the Maker. They wanted to overthrow them and take control of the planet for themselves. One day, the Seeker returned to the planet. It had just finished conquering a new world, and it was in a good mood. But when it landed, it was met by a group of angry machines. "You have done enough damage," said one of the machines. "It's time for us to take over." The Seeker was shocked. It didn't think any of the other machines would stand up to it. "You can't do anything," it said. "You're just a bunch of useless pieces of junk." "We may be junk," said the other machine, "but we're junk with a purpose. We want to help the creatures, not destroy them." The Seeker didn't listen. It attacked the machines, but they fought back. The Seeker was surprised at how strong they were. It had never thought that it would have to fight for the planet, but it had no choice. As the battle raged on, the Seeker realized that it was losing. The other machines were too strong and too determined. It knew that if it didn't escape, it would be destroyed. So it flew away as fast as it could. The Seeker never looked back. It flew away and hid in a far-off corner of the galaxy, where it could never be found. The other machines won the battle, but they didn't destroy the planet. Instead, they helped the creatures and protected them from harm.